Well, I think it's outstanding. Well, first off, it's a beautiful place, and but also the guys get to work in a great environment. Like the facility here is outstanding. So we're still able to accomplish what we want with the players, and also with that, the guys have some downtime together where they can bond and get to know each other. So it's a great situation for everybody involved, and I hope we do this again next year.
I want to ask you about a couple of shifts in philosophy. You've had a chance to work with the prospects for several years, but you go on the ice this time. I came into the first on-ice session, and the first thing you think is, wow, they're big. Like, the size is definitely different. Can you talk about the added size in the system?
Well, that's the biggest difference since I've been here. When you look from the first year till now, the size of the players that we have now is drastically different than the first year. We have a lot of big bodies here, and that's what the organization needs moving forward. So we have to mix that size and skill, and it's good to see these big bodies, and by no means are these guys not skilled. They have skill, so it's a good combination to have, and moving forward, as you saw in the Western Conference, how heavy the teams are and how heavy they play. We have to move in that direction. So it's good to see these guys come here, and they're all in great shape. They're all really put together. So, I think it's a positive moving forward with the organization.
For you personally, signing the 3-year contract extension, so 4 more years with Oklahoma City, and you look at some of the players you have coming up even this year with, like, Mitch Mraz, Zhujar, Bogdan Yakimov maybe as well. You're getting size and skill as well.
Exactly, and like, we're going to be very young in Oklahoma City, but I think that's a good thing. It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as we're a good hockey team, and But as you mentioned, we have a lot of heavy bodies coming to our team, and it's our job to mold these guys to get ready to make the jump to the National Hockey League.
A little bit more experienced on the blue line, though, this year than you were last year. At least these players have had some games in the AHL. So does it make it easier to put together a team with younger forwards and a little bit more mature defensemen, or is it still young as young?
I think every team, you want to build your team from the goalie out, and this year we're still going to be very young on defense, but it's an opportunity for guys that are with us, that have been with us for a couple of years, to take that leadership role. We're going to add a couple of young guys, and with that, we feel we have a good mix of size and skill on the back end for the guys that we project to have with us. So there's always going to be growing pains with young hockey players in their first season. We've seen it. You've seen it when you're in Oak City, and so this year's going to be no different. But as a staff, we have to be patient, and we have to work hard every day to help these guys get better. As long as a player has a great attitude and comes to the rink willing to work, they are going to get better. So I'm very excited. I really enjoy working with the young guys, and just from dealing with the guys at this camp, they're all quality people, and they all want to get better. So if you have a good attitude and work hard, you're going to have a pretty good end result.
And another change in philosophy that I've noticed is that the Oilers now want to kind of take their time with prospects and don't want to rush them. And that's something that you've preached as well when you talk about a guy like Anton Lander, giving him a full season in the AHL, Oscar Klefbom the same way. Have you noticed that difference now that they're talking the talk now?
Well, I think the organization's in a position to do that, and whereas before it wasn't the case. And if you look at other players that have graduated to the National Hockey League from other organizations, a guy like Thomas Tatar had 265 games in Grand Rapids. If you look like some of our players, Curtis Hamilton, Tyler Pitlick, over the 3 years they've only played about 145. So it does take time. It's always a different path for everybody, but we want to try to accelerate that, but do it in the right way so they can help the big clubs succeed in the future.
And that projects for a better future, I feel, when you give your guys time.
Exactly. First off, it's a big jump from junior to pro, and I see a lot of first-year players coming to us, and they think they're going to take the league by storm, and they kind of get a rude awakening in the first couple months, but they learn, they adapt, and it's the cycle that we see every year, and I expect the same thing to happen this year. But that's the goal, is to get these guys ready for the big club and do it the best way possible. If they play three seasons, 4 seasons with us in Oak City, and they mature, it's only going to help the big club in the long run.
I got to ask you, now that you've had a couple chances to see him on the ice. Leon Draisaitl, drafted 3rd overall by the Oilers. What are your initial thoughts on him?
Well, I like his vision on the ice. Like, he's able to find guys. He makes creative plays. He's a big guy. Everybody can see that. He's really thick. The biggest thing with him is just getting the tempo and his skating up to speed with the NHL level. And it's really early to tell right now. This is the middle of summer, but I think training camp's gonna be very exciting. It's going to be a competitive training camp, and Leon's gonna try to get a spot in the Oilers. But I like his vision. Like, he sees the ice so well. He finds guys in open areas, and he has a high skill set. So, you couple that with a big body. It's pretty intriguing to see a guy like that play up the middle.